All right. It's been 3 years. Welcome back if you've been in any of our Movu digital marketing podcasts in the past. It actually has been a 3 year hiatus, and we actually decided to come back and we're changing the angle of the podcast a little bit. Welcome in. For anybody that is new to this podcast, welcome in. My name is Chris Leo. I am the founder and president of Movu Digital Marketing. I've got about 27 years in marketing. I owned a traditional marketing agency for many years, operating a direct mail house and a digital print shop. And then in 2017, pivoted strictly to digital marketing. The thing that got us to actually stop podcasting back in 2022 was honestly that pandemic had been hitting hard and heavy, and our business just went through the roof, and we had to focus on taking care of all of our clients' needs. And in all that, one of the things that we found were home service businesses were definitely looking for help with their digital marketing. It was a great fit for us. Honestly, we just get along with people that run home service companies. They're just our kind of people. So we still work with some people in the real estate industry and mortgage industry and some other professional services like I don't know, accountants and attorneys, but the lion's share of what we do is home service companies. So we thought we would rebrand this podcast and just talk about everything digital marketing related to companies in the home service industry. And so welcome to the Service Scale Up podcast. And today, what I'd like to talk with you guys about, in the last 3 years, we've worked with every kind of company you can imagine. Small single operations where it's husband and wife wearing all the hats, to a franchise model that started with 2 locations, and we helped them scale up to 52 across the country. So we've kind of seen it all, and the one thing that we've noticed is no matter what type of home service company it is, no matter what their annual revenue is, and no matter where in the country they're located, there's 3 things primarily that every single company we come across is either not doing or not doing correctly. And these 3 things are definitely affecting their bottom line. So today, it's what we're going to attack, y'all. We're going to go one by one through them and break it down. So number one, the first one, and definitely the one that we see every single company without fail just not quite have together at all, is a lack of a consistent online presence. Obviously, you have to be online in order to be found on Google searches, and so there's some varying parts to this. First of all, you have to have a website that's following the best practices for SEO, so it gets indexed by Google and you show up in the search results. Of course, you also need, though, to have what they call online citations. And all that is it, don't get hung up on jargon. It's just a marketing nerd word for online business directory and review sites. There's 20 or so of them that Google wants to see all businesses on. You've got to have those set up and running. Once people find you online, they want to vet you and check you out and make sure that you're really, a proper entity. And part of that is your social media. You have to have consistent social media. We've seen, I can't tell you how many times, we have somebody reach out to us for a discovery call. We do a little due diligence before, and when we get to their social media and start auditing it, we see their last post was in 2014. You can't have that. You have to have a consistent online presence. And Gary Vaynerchuk, actually, of all people, said something that really made sense the other day. If you are a solid C player that is consistent, you're going to be better than that A player that kicks it out of the park every time but is inconsistent. So my point being, as long as everybody always says, oh, I don't know what to post on social media. Start with the work that you're doing. Take picture of your crew, take videos of your crew when they're out out at job sites doing stuff, and start describing what you guys do and how you're the best at it. Start with things like that, feature reviews. So you don't have to do it the best. In fact, probably the beginning, your stuff's gonna suck. No offense, it's gonna suck, but it will get better over time. And that's the goal. You want to consistently be moving the ball forward. So absolutely, SEO is critical. Your online citations extremely, extremely, extremely important. But don't dip out on the social media either. You need to have that because ultimately people want to see that you guys are a real company and that there's real people running it and real people working in it. And if you do it right, not only real people that are part of the local community and care about the people that live in that community and want to help. The number two thing we see, it's kind of a two-part thing. It has to do with lack of targeting and poor messaging. And so this one, like I said, it's kind of two parts. So let's split it up. Lack of targeting. We see a lot of times people, they get all kinds of leads, right? So say you're a pest control company and you've definitely got homeowners that are calling you and businesses that are calling you, and you also have like third party power partners, so like realtors are calling you for termite inspections. And so these are three different audiences. And so what we find is sometimes people just have it all mishmashed together. And so when they're doing paid ads or maybe ad retargeting, so in other words, sending ads to somebody that's already been to your site just to keep your business top of mind with them. So when they are ready to utilize your services, they'll give you a call. Um, if everybody's looped into one ball and not separate based on what it is you're doing for them, it's kind of impossible to give them pertinent messaging that's going to want to make them look at you as that thought leader and reach out and call you. The other piece of it is the messaging itself. We are giant believers in storytelling. If it looks like an ad, smells like an ad, walks like an ad, quacks like an ad, it's an ad. We've all been conditioned now to scroll past anything that looks like an ad in our social media feeds, in our any digital platform we're on that serves ads. So there's a two-part thing here you want to accomplish. One, you don't want the ads to look like an ad. That's what a lot of people call native advertising. Again, it's just a marketing nerd word. Just think of it like this. If you're scrolling through and you see I don't know, like a picture of a salad or a sandwich on a plate, a burger with some fries. It looks really good, right? Nice cold beer right behind it. And that's, that would be like something that one of your friends might have posted, so you're going to stop and read it. Same kind of thing. The ads, you want the imagery and everything to look like something that one of your friends would have posted. That's the kind of the most boiled down simple way to put it. The other thing though is how you describe your services themselves. So all entrepreneurs are guilty of this. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Every single entrepreneur, we get high on our own supply. We are the best at what we do. We are the champion of everything that we do. We are the one that has spent the most time staring at it, tweaking it, loving it, massaging it, getting it to grow, nurturing it. So what inevitably ends up happening is when we start to write the messaging as to how we're going to promote our business, whether it's on our website, in social media posts, on paid digital ads, on online profiles, what ends up happening is we basically put ourselves right in the center of the story, saying how great our service is and how we're experts at X, Y, and Z, or the top X% in the country, fill in the blank. All the accolades that you could give, right? What ends up happening though is it's not thinking of the end user. So, your ideal potential customer. And so you need to take a step back from that and you need to pivot where you're actually thinking about your ideal potential customer and you're thinking about the wants, needs, fears, challenges, and goals that they have, And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tell the story of your company, putting them in the center of it. So basically, what this is using the hero's journey. The hero's journey is something that we all understand. It's in every book we read, every movie we watch, every play we go to. It's just it's ingrained in us. So it's very simple for people to lock onto this and without even realizing it, gravitate towards it. So what you've got is you've got your hero in the story that's your ideal potential customer. With your messaging, you're addressing their wants, needs, fears, desires, goals, and showing empathy that you understand these are the things that they want, and then establishing authority. And then that's where you come in with the, we're the expert in this field because of XYZ. And if you're tired of being in this place and you want to get to this place, we're the ones that can guide you through it. So you're their Yoda. And so that's really, the direction. And um if you write that story brand, and then it can become a blueprint for everything. So it can inform the copy in your marketing and nurturing emails, the copy on the pages of your website, your social posts, your paid ad campaigns, literally everything. So spend some time working on that and crafting it, and always remembering that your ideal potential customer is the one that you need to put in the center of that story. And the last one, it's kind of crazy, but it just involves measuring, lack of analytics. Now, I get it. If you own a home service company, you're like, Chris, my job isn't to figure out how to read Google Analytics reports or Google AdWord reports, and I totally understand. They suck. Like the interfaces on those things are difficult at best to understand unless it's like what you do for a living, and it's a waste of time, especially if you don't know specifically what metrics you need to be looking at. One of the things that's our mantra is anything worth doing has to be measurable. Um, and the other thing is actually transparency above everything else. So what we always tell people, whether if you do a discovery call with us, we'll tell you the same thing. Whether you end up using us or going to another firm, you have to be able to understand exactly what's going on with all of your marketing initiatives. And you don't want to just have a reporting call with a digital agency that's going to show you some statistics. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, it's probably the statistics they want to show you and not all of the statistics, because statistics are a funny thing that way. You can paint a lot of stories. So what we always recommend is for everybody to insist that a third party reporting tool is used. Our favorite one is Agency Analytics. They're a software company that developed a platform that has API connections to every platform out there. So all your Facebook, Instagram, your Facebook campaigns, your Instagram campaigns, your Google pay-per-click campaigns, your Google local service ads, LinkedIn ads, uh, Google Business, local service, web rankings, keyword rankings, you name it, it's all in there. And it's actually because it's through the API connections of all these other platforms, it's real time. So you can click into it and you can drill down to get really as niche and specific as, whatever you might be looking for. We use it for our clients on our reporting calls. So that way, they become familiar with the platform. They understand, okay, here's what these metrics mean, and here's why they're important to your company. And they have a login to that dashboard. It's their own dashboard with their own stuff, so that they can log in anytime, 24/7, 365, and get up to the second data. So that way they're always in the loop. Or if for whatever reason they want to hire a third party to come in and audit what we're doing for them, it's all right there. It's super simple. So no matter what you do, if you can't measure it, don't do it. Period. If it's not measurable, don't do it. It's just not worth it. Um, If you can't measure it because you just don't have the things in place, definitely fix that ASAP, because you don't want to just throw money out there and do like the spaghetti on the wall thing and hope that something happens, and then say, "Oh, well, we'll know if we get a book job." There's lots of things that take place, in a sales funnel and in the customer journey, from somebody discovering you all the way to actually asking for a quote and then signing off on that estimate. So you have to have your analytics and your tracking in place. So those are the three biggest problems that we see. And like I said, it pretty much, you can set your watch, no matter what industry it is in the home services vertical, no matter how large or small the company is, minimum two of those things is definitely a culprit. And you have to remember the stakes with these things. Not having these things in place impacts you. First of all, there's loss of potential revenue. So you're not consistently branding yourself online and getting your brand awareness built up, not showing up in those web searches, you're not getting leads. And if you can't get your hat thrown into the ring with at least getting a lead, you're not going to be able to send anybody an estimate, and you're definitely not going to book a job. So financially, it can impact you. A second way, besides loss of revenue, that it can impact you is that you potentially are wasting money on digital ad campaigns. If you aren't tracking the ad campaign and you can't determine what your return on ad spend is, or you're not tracking, say, the cost per click or the conversion rate of the landing page you're sending potential leads to, potential customers to, and what that conversion rate is and how well optimized that page is. If you're not tracking these things, you're spending money on ads that just aren't doing anything for you. So again, more loss of revenue. And then of course there's just the obvious one. I mean, every day you don't do these things, one of your competitors out there is doing it. And like I said, when anybody first starts this, if you're like a roll up your sleeve and DIY it kind of guy, when you first start this, you're going to suck at it. But consistency, and as you keep on going, you're going to get better and better, and then you're going to keep pulling ahead, pulling ahead, pulling ahead. And so think of it this way: there's only so many ideas out there and only so many processes, and all when it comes to digital marketing especially, there are best practices. All these platforms run on algorithms. So it's not that nobody knows how to do these things, it's that people aren't willing to necessarily do them. But every day, somebody's finally, okay, today is the last day that this is going to have a hold on us. We're going to take control of this, and they're going to start. And every day that you aren't doing this, they're getting one more day ahead of you and another day ahead of you. And they're going to keep grinding and going. Or maybe they decided not to DIY it and they hired a firm to take care of all this stuff. They're going to much rapidly pull ahead, much more rapidly. So, again, time is not on your side when it comes to, if you really want to grow your company and you want to stay ahead of your competitors, you need to keep advancing with the times and doing these things consistently to market your business, get your brand message out there, and stay top of mind with your potential ideal customers. All right. So, one last thing before I let you go. I'm a big believer in actionable steps. And so I'm gonna give you one tip today, and this is something that you can roll up your sleeves and do yourself, or a firm like ours, or probably I'm sure there's other digital firms out there that could do the same thing as well. But we can assist you with it. And what this is it's a great hack on how to show up in more local searches. So, especially if you're like a single location brick and mortar, or let's say you're a plumbing company that just happens to work out of your home. So you've got one or two vans, but you don't have a brick and mortar. In both of those scenarios, you're limited in your local search functions compared to companies that maybe have multiple locations across your marketplace. And what we found is there are ways you can combat this, and home service companies are ideally suited for this. So let's say, for sake of argument, you're a pest control company, and let's say you do termite control, rodent control, and let's say mosquito control. So let's just make it simple, three, because I hit my head a lot. I'll forget if we do another one. And so you've got those three services, and let's say you're located here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and you're serving San Jose, Sunnyvale, Cupertino, Mountain View, and Santa Clara. So we've got 5 cities with 3 different services. Now, you want to show up in all those cities at the top of the results for all those services, and one of the ways that you can do that is if you think about how people are searching. And so the simplest way to explain this is just, I mean, think about it. If go to Google and search for termite control in Santa Clara right now, and I guarantee you, I'll pause for a second so you can do it. And now I guarantee you, if you're in Santa Clara and you happen to be watching this, you might have typed in something like termite control near me. If you're anywhere else, you typed in termite control in Santa Clara, and those two ways, that's how humans search. We're funny animals like that. We all kind of, as different as we all are from each other, there's some things that we actually all do that are kind of the same, and this is one of those. So what you want to do, the answer here is, if you want to show up in these long tail searches, you need to have pages on your website for a particular service in a particular city. So say termite control Santa Clara, termite control in Cupertino, termite control in San Jose, termite control in Mountain View, and so on. And these pages, like it is elbow grease. There are automated ways to do it. Like we have that's the whole basis of our company, right? We have a platform that automates a lot of this stuff and makes it simple for people. But you can also do it the elbow grease way. And what happens is, once you create all those pages and then you submit the sitemaps to Google, and if you structure the URLs of the pages themselves even in the correct way, you'll be showing up in these searches at the top of the search results, because nobody else is making pages like these. And they're what Google would consider exact matches. So there's your tip. I know it's, for purposes of this, I put it kind of like at a simplistic, here's the basics of how you do it. If you're curious, I'll put a link in the description, where you can click to book a discovery call. It's a free call. I'm happy, if you want to pick my brain, you can ask questions about this. If you're one of those companies that has a large territory, so a lot of cities, and then even more services, like 10, 15. I think, like, we have a home maintenance company that has like 25 different services. We ended up making thousands of pages for them because of all the different combinations. And if that describes you, there's definitely automated ways to do it, our platform being one of them. Happy to run through that with you. But that's your actionable tip for the day. Definitely, like I said, it's consistency. So even if you're going to roll up your sleeves and white knuckle this and build those pages yourself, set a goal. Do 2 or 3 a week, 4 a week, 5 a week, and before you know it, you'll have them all set up, and Google will start indexing them, and it's going to make a big difference in how you get found for people that need your services and are actively asking Google, help, I need assistance with this particular thing. So there you have it. Those are the top 3 things that we see every home service company we come across suffer from, as well as some explanation, why you definitely want to get in front of those things, and some tips on how you can do it. I hope that helps. As I mentioned, I'm going to put a link in the description. If you have any questions, or you're just, wanting to bounce something off of somebody with a fresh set of eyes and get some feedback, we are definitely here for you and ready to help in any way we can. We want to help you scale your home service company and build your dream.
Hey guys, please take a minute to subscribe to our podcast and our blog, smash that like button, and give us some feedback in the comments. Your input means the world to me.